Good evening. How's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Friday night. It is the Earthmaster out here. About 10:46 p.m. That's California time. June 20th, 2025. Happy summer solstice here. Looks like days will finally start to get a little bit shorter after today. We reached the peak of the daytime lightness, so to speak, out here. 10 o'clock at night here in Northern California just a short time ago, and it was still somewhat light out here. That's not okay because, I don't know. I prefer the darker hours in the evening. By the way, quick announcement. The member drawing will be held tomorrow. There on Saturday, probably in the afternoon time period. I had some issues coming up here on my end that prevented me from doing the member drawing today. Normally it's held on the 20th of each month. So I apologize in advance here, but we'll go ahead and get that done tomorrow. All right, earthquake activity. New Zealand, goodness, a whole bunch of earthquake activity happening down here in the last 24 hours with some renewed activity there just south of the Alpine Fault. Looks like a 4.2 earthquake there coming off of the South Island region. Nothing showing up there on the USGS map. Of course, they're a little spotty when it comes to reporting some of the earthquake activity, but there's a 4.2. South Island area just off the plate boundary there 6 hours ago. That is in a zone there that's seen a number of earthquakes here in the last couple weeks. So we got to watch that area upstream there across the Alpine Fault. It's got some potential here across the western side of South Island here to produce a big earthquake, and it's been ramping up out here lately. A lot of movement south and a lot of movement north here of the Alpine Fault. So keep an eye there across South Island. North Island area, some movement stirring up out there. Looks like a lot of deeper activity there on the Earthquake 3D globe. Some underneath North Island, a lot of it underneath the Kermadec Trench. Another area of concern, of course, is the Hikurangi subduction zone there across the east side of the North Island region. That's got some big time potential as well. New Zealand sits along a plate boundary with a couple dynamic zones here, a subduction zone and a transform boundary here. And of course, both of those can produce some big earthquakes. Taking a look up here across the western area of the states. Go ahead and start up here across the Washington region, see if we got anything major going on. A couple of smaller earthquakes there across Mount St. Helens. Nothing big going on, just looks like some smaller earthquake activity there in the last 24 hours. Same for the Oregon area. Now, this earthquake there outside of Salem this morning is a result of the tremor activity occurring downstream here into the subduction zone. I want to show you guys here. In fact, let's take a look, see what we got. Well, this is today's epicenters, 58, excuse me. Yesterday's was 7 epicenters there south of Salem, but this is underneath the area, about 35 to 45 kilometers deep. And that is literally west here, but deeper than this earthquake we've seen this morning here in Oregon, 1.4. Much shallower. But some interesting activity stirring up there. It means that the stress and strain out there across the Cascadia is increasing. Not seeing anything today in terms of earthquake activity as a result of the tremor movement down across southern end of the Cascadia for now. Again, that's 58 epicenters underneath this area of Oregon. No resulting earthquake activity noted here. Some movement down south here across Northern California early this morning, including a bunch of 2s and a 3-pointer, but nothing new to report so far for the rest of the day. San Francisco, pretty quiet. They're across the creeping segment of the San Andreas Fault. Looks like a 2.1 there outside of Pinnacles region. That again, is along the creeping segment. A little swarming going on there. Park-filled segment of the San Andreas Fault, pretty quiet. In extreme southern California here, a little spotty. The latest earthquake, though, shows a 1.0 just off of the Elsinore Fault. Nothing unusual going on out there across southern California for now. Across the rest of the area here into Idaho, just some minimal activity. A couple earthquakes here this morning around the Stanley, Idaho area, just off the Sawtooth Fault system. Nothing big going on there for now. Yellowstone National Park, One earthquake being reported this morning, but let's just double check, see what we have. For the Yellowstone seismograph station overview, it looks pretty quiet out there. I'm really not seeing a whole lot of anything. Looks like there's at least 3 stations here: Borehole, Lake Butte, the Promontory, eastern side of the Yellowstone caldera, showing some earthquake activity. That is being recorded on all 3 of these seismograph stations here. Nothing big, but a couple smaller microquakes out here. There's probably 10 or 15 of them out here in this little activity tonight. Obviously, not a big swarm, but some newer activity out there around the eastern area of Yellowstone National Park. We'll see if it's Friday. It's a weekend too, so it's not going to be until Monday before they report some of the smaller quakes there. Not a big swarm, but we'll watch that, see if it doesn't turn into something other than just a couple small microquakes. Texas area, oil fields, still getting hammered out there. Nothing new. The rest of the world out here, let's see what we got here for the largest magnitude. Goes to a 5.1 out in Iran. That was earlier this morning. Really not a whole lot of newer activity in terms of any moderate activity across the globe. Fairly minimal conditions as far as earthquake activity goes in terms of magnitudes. Yes, there's increasing multitude of quakes out here across various areas, including New Zealand and around the Crunch Zone out here, Taiwan southward. But nothing big happening yet. Got some movement there across the Izu Trench, some deeper activity there on the northern end. That's a 4.4. Notice that deep earthquake there. That's got to be straining the area in this zone right here, the Nankai Trough. In fact, following that super deep earthquake, 218 miles deep for that 4.4, there was a newer earthquake here, southern end of the Nankai Trough. Couple 3 stirred up, so we know the activity is increasing there across that region. Same for the area up north along the Kuril-Kamchatka. This is a prime example of subduction zone stress and strain events. Earlier, around noontime, there was a 4.1, 105 miles deep. Immediately, less than an hour due upstream here, a much shallower earthquake, 4.6. Just goes to show you here, during these little periods of subduction zone deep earthquakes, that the strain builds upstream here. This is a very prime example. We see it across many areas. If it doesn't show up here, then obviously the strain could be increasing across the area further to the west. Yeah, that's the Kuril-Kamchatka down here, definitely a major area for some concern for larger earthquake activity. Up into Alaska, a couple 2s and 3s out there. Nothing major going on there across the region. As you can see there on the map, the largest, a 3.1 there across Petersville, Alaska. A little bit of activity further up north here along the Pacific and the North American plate boundary. Inland, though. Let's take a look here and see what we got. Nothing major going on across Canada either. Pretty quiet up there for now. South America, from Peru southward here, quite active with a bunch of 4s stirring up out there, it looks like, in recent, just in the last couple hours. The latest earthquake, 2.5 down here across the Chile area. Definitely an increasing event out here across that Peru-Chile trench. Same for the Middle America trench, quite active out here. And the Gulf here along the, just off the Baja California area, got a couple 3s stirring up down here as well. All that migration there, pressure has not really transferred up into Southern California yet. A lot of activity here in the last couple days down here across this area. Eventually this could find its way up here across Southern California with increasing movement as far as earthquake activity goes down here. But right now, I still have yet to see it, but we'll continue to watch that Southern California area. The Atlantic Ocean's starting to get active out here from north all the way down to the south. Things starting to stir up out here. That should really get the plates into motion out here. 4.1 here across the northern Atlantic Rift boundary. So I guess we'll keep an eye on things out here, see what happens. There's an earlier image there from Kilauea Volcano. Current image shows that this has got to be one of the current images. Still quite a lot of glowing, so to speak, out there in the lava field across the Kilauea Volcano, but it looks like the eruption has now ended. That's going to stay hot and lit up there for a little bit. According to the USGS, the eruption paused there, episode number 26, at 10:25 a.m. local time there in Hawaii. So, we expect, now that it's paused, for the inflation to come back up. And look what's going on. We're going back up here towards episode 27. Oh, I would love to see that, man. Anyone got a flight they want to offset or hand me? I would love to go out there to Hawaii and film this. Be out there for the next eruption. That would be incredible. Right now, I'm pretty packed though with well, it costs a lot of money to do that, but it would be a once in a lifetime event to see that Kilauea Volcano there erupt. But yeah, episode 27. It'll be here in a few days. I don't see anything of change yet. So we'll continue to watch that and report back on that volcano activity across the Kilauea Volcano. As far as space weather activity goes, we're way down into the B flare category. Look at that, B 4.9. Hello, that is super low. Let's go ahead and check out, see what's going on here. I had a decent M flare earlier, a couple C flares since then. Still got a 15% chance for X flare, M flare 65% chance. See what we got going on here for the sunspots. We'll get to the coronal hole activity here in a minute. 4114, the source here of numerous, a couple X flares and some M flares, has almost completely degraded out here. Yeah, I'm really not expecting much from this area anymore. That's way off there on the western limb as well. We got this area back here. That's been a source of the larger M flare here recently. But even so, this is getting a lot of clear-cut separation here of these individual cores, and that's not good there as far as complexity goes. So we'll probably see the flare threat drop. Right now, we'll keep it somewhat elevated there in terms of the forecast, but it looks like the number of these sunspots out here are starting to just decay and fade away. Far as what's going on across the far side of the sun, well, here's our active area out in the southeastern quadrant of the sun. Not a whole lot showing up out here. There's a massive region here, but that's not even center disk yet. So it'll be quite a few days there before we see this even out here across the eastern limb. But I don't see a whole lot there in the forecast, so we may be looking at just a little period there of some quietness in terms of solar flare activity. There is, though, however, a decent coronal hole out here that is center disk of the sun. That is in more of a position there to shoot some high-speed solar wind stream directly at Earth, because it is center disk. That should enhance the aurora forecast there once it gets into position, though. But we got a number of days here before that even happens. But we got, a decent coronal hole there. Excuse me, I got hiccups all of a sudden. So we'll watch for that. Seen some big-time tornado activity up there in North Dakota today. Goodness. Still got a moderate risk up there for some severe weather. That includes a 10% hatched area there overnight for tornado activity. Crazy stuff there. Big-time wind threats. We're talking about over 100-mile-per-hour winds there with those boat echo that formed there from that line of storms. I believe that's ongoing right now. And some big-time hail threats out there across the northern plains. For the day on Saturday, that severe weather shifts much further to the east, as noted here on the map. Little 2% zones there for tornado activity, wind, and some hail threats out there. It doesn't mean Canada is not going to get anything, but here for the states, limited severe weather threat out there for now. The windy map out here, let's check out that weather radar. There's just, it looks like that bow echo may have worked its way further up north here. But earlier, that was a decent looking line of storms there that probably produced some massive straight line winds. Look at this here as it forms, and oh yeah, that's a crazy amount of lightning out there. It's oh man, I can only imagine. But some big time tornado imagery showing up out there as well across North Dakota. For the storm reports today, got at least 10 reports of tornadoes across North Dakota, 66 storm reports in terms of wind damage, high wind, and hail reports as well across the area. It's a decent severe weather event out there, that's for sure. I'm out here across Northern California. I can already feel it. Got some colder, drier air coming across the area of north thanks to a low pressure system there. I'll show you guys here coming out of the north. That is a very rare system for this late in the year for Northern California. But I'll take the cooler weather over 100 degrees every day, so I'm thankful for these little breaks. Looks like that may linger here through the weekend. This is a lot different than what it looked like earlier. There's a split-off low as well that hangs out there across Southern California, so that'll keep temperatures cooler. I don't know for how much longer, but I don't see any massive dominant patterns out here that tells me that it's going to be a super hot area for either severe weather or high temperatures following this low pressure out here. Right now, yeah, it's obviously going to cook across the Great Lakes, well above average temperatures there for them. But after that, things kind of just turn to average out here for the summertime. All right, let's see. Take a look here at the seismograph stations here. They look pretty quiet, folks. I'm trying to think here. What do we have here since the last week? What's our largest magnitude? Of 5.9. That's minimal. We haven't even had a 6-pointer here yet in the last week. Last 30 days, we've had a number of 6-pointers for the last 30 days. But we're still at below average there for the 6-pointers. I covered this last night here. We're below average for 7-pointers, below average for 6-pointers. I haven't counted the 5 to 5.9 yet. I don't know if I want to count the 2.0 to 2.9. That's a lot of counting. But for the larger magnitudes, we are still below average for the average yearly magnitudes here that you see on the map. If you didn't catch it, go check it out on my last night's video. No 8-pointers since 2021. That leads me to believe here that we may, possibly be talking about a 9-pointer somewhere. I mean, the likelihood of a 9-pointer goes up as the years go on without an 8-pointer. So we should have seen at least an 8-pointer by now. And 4 years ago, yeah, it's a little bit of time has passed here, so. Not a whole lot of movement there across California here. A lot of activity across the western Pacific. I'm sure eventually this will fill in. There's that 4.6 there, the largest earthquake activity out here in the last 30 days across the, for the most part, the North American plate out here. All right, I'm out of here. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Enjoy your Friday night. Please stay safe out there. And again, I apologize for the member drawing. Like I say, we had a little family emergency pop up here that needed priority. And, of course, we try to put, family first. We always have to, no matter what you're doing. And didn't get a chance to do the drawing because of that. But that's okay. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll take care of business tomorrow. If you're not a member, jump on board today. Stand by here for just a second. Let me see what we got here for our members. I'm going to pause that so you guys can see that, and then I'm going to go over here and check out my members real quick. See what we got here for our members. See my members. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to show you guys here real quick. Stand by. Bring this back up. There we go. So members, we got 86 members out here, and that's probably around average or so, maybe slightly above. Timothy here rejoined in the last 4 days. Appreciate that there, Timothy, one of our mods on the channel. 31 months. Hello. That's a long time here. Let's go ahead and check out, see what we got here for our top charts. Jay Fuentes 347 holds the trophy there. Thanks for rejoining there, Jay Fuentes 347. 36 months. 3 years as a member here on the channel. Goodness, we appreciate you. Same for Robert Kozowski, 36 months. Albert Sanchez Jr., thanks for rejoining 17 months ago, 36 months as well. Rob 52, 36 months. Diniad, 35. Pamela Conley, 35. Nancy Kozowski, Purple Bullet at 34 months. Hurricane Heather, appreciate you there, Hurricane Heather, 33 months. Rejoined 32 months ago. All right, appreciate that. Mike Moses, and the list goes on and on out here. We've had a lot of members stick around for so long, and we appreciate you guys 100%. We give away these. We do drawings every month out here to recognize the members, and the random drawings, we put everyone out here in a magic fishbowl, and we pick out a winner. Sometimes we pick out two. I don't know. Maybe we'll do two tomorrow. We'll see. And we'll give away cash prizes or Earthmaster merchandise, or if you want like some geology stuff, like mining kit that we give away, like 11-piece geology mining kit as well, can be sent directly to your home, and you can go digging for some crystals or something. I absolutely love looking for rocks. And but yeah, that's what we do. It's our show of appreciation here to our members. But I need to get into the habit here of sending out these shout outs here to the members a little bit more often. I've been slacking a little bit, but I do need to jump back on board and recognize the members out here more often. Who's our newest member? It looks like Candace Cooper, 10 days ago. Super fan, thank you. Let me see what we got here. I think all of our members right now are currently all super fans. Oh, we got a channel supporter right there. I wonder why this isn't working. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. So we have, is that Langalina 619, channel supporter for 5 months. Thank you. Alex Will, channel supporter for 22 days. Total time as member for 4 months, so you upgraded there. Appreciate that there, Alex. So we have a couple different options here, just as a way of supporting the channel, your show of support, and you could be any member out here. Either way, we appreciate everyone, and everyone that's any kind of member gets included there in the Magic Fishbowl to win some prizes. So, but we appreciate everyone out here. Quite a few folks out here, so 86 people. Unless you're going to jump on board overnight, you'll be included as well tomorrow. So if you want to be picked out there for being a winner potentially, jump on board there, folks. All right, I'm out of here. It's been a long day, let me tell you. Plus, it's kind of late here. It's almost it's after 11 o'clock here, California time. So I'm pretty much ready for bed. Open up the window, turn on the fan, enjoy some cooler weather coming in here tonight. It's supposed to be about 55 degrees overnight, so it's already down to 64 degrees. So that's my type of weather. Have a good one. We'll see you guys out here in the morning, folks. Stay safe.